Hey guys. Your car door slams shut behind you, the sound echoing too loudly in the near-empty parking garage. It's late, long after most employees have gone home. The air smells faintly of gasoline, stale concrete, and the aftertaste of rain on metal beams. You slide the key into the ignition of your black BMW, already rehearsing tomorrow's pitch in your head. And then it happens. A high-pitched voice slices through the silence like a blade. Shut up. Don't say a word. Your body goes rigid. The key trembles in your hand. For a split second, you wonder if exhaustion has finally made you hear things. But no, the voice is real. And it came from inside the car. Your eyes dart to the rearview mirror, pupils adjusting to the shadows. And there, half hidden in the dim light, you see her. A little black girl, maybe 7 years old, crouched low against the leather seat. Her hair is messy, her clothes dirty, but her eyes are wide with a kind of fear you've never seen before. She leans forward, small hands gripping the headrest. Her whisper is so sharp it almost stings. They're listening. From that building. Your partner. His blonde wife. They said you'd be here. A chill runs through you. Slowly, carefully, you settle into the driver's seat. Every movement deliberate, like a man approaching a wild animal. You're Jonathan Miller, she says, her voice trembling. CEO of Miller Industries. I heard them say your name 100 times. You swallow hard. 52 years old, self-made. From nothing, you built Miller Industries into a technology empire worth $200 million. And through it all, you trusted Marcus Williams, your co-founder of 15 years, and Diana Foster, your assistant who knew your life better than your own family. And now, this child, this stranger, claims they're conspiring against you. How? Did you get into my car? You whisper, careful not to move too fast. The cleaning lady left it unlocked, she says matter-of-factly. I hid, because I heard them talking upstairs. She points with her chin toward the office tower looming. Behind you, its upper floors still glowing with fluorescent light. They said that tomorrow you won't own anything anymore. Your heart stutters. Tomorrow, the merger with Japanese investors. $400 million at stake. Months of preparation. Marcus and Diana handling every detail. Your phone buzzes in your pocket, but you don't dare pull it out. Instead, you keep your voice steady, almost casual. What else did you hear? The girl's gaze flicks nervously toward the building. She lowers her voice as though microphones hide in the shadows. They said you're stupid, that you'll sign without reading. The blonde woman laughed. She said the day after tomorrow you'll be looking for a new job. She curls into herself, shrinking against the seat. They said other bad things about you too. But my grandma always told me not to repeat ugly words. For the first time in weeks, something unfamiliar flickers in your chest. Not anger. Not fear. Something dangerously close to pride. This child, this stranger, risked everything to warn you. What's your name? You ask softly. Jasmine. You nod slowly. Are you afraid I'll call the police on you? Her silence is long, then cautious. Aren't you going to? A bitter laugh escapes you, surprising even yourself. For months you've been suffocating under stress, your own instincts dulled by blind trust. But here is clarity. No, Jasmine. You may have just saved everything I've ever built. Outside, the office windows flicker as one by one, lights extinguish. Marcus and Diana are leaving, confident that tomorrow will deliver Jonathan Miller's downfall. They don't know that fate has shifted, that the smallest voice in the darkest place has already turned the tide. You grip the wheel, starting the engine. The roar echoes through the garage. Jasmine flinches, eyes darting nervously toward the mirrors. They're coming down, she whispers. In the glass, you catch a glimpse of shadows moving near the stairwell. You drive out, tires humming against the wet asphalt, leaving the building behind. But your mind is no longer fogged with trust. It's awake, alert, hungry. Marcus and Diana believe tomorrow is theirs. They believe you are weak. They believe they've already won. But tonight you've been given something more precious than any merger, more valuable than any contract. Time. Time to prepare. As the city streets blur past, Jasmine keeps her eyes glued to the mirrors, scanning for headlights that might follow. You steal one last glance at her. Dirt-streaked clothes, wide eyes too old for her age. And in her presence you feel a truth settle heavy and undeniable. This child didn't just stumble into your car. She was placed here, and though you can't explain it, you know what happens next will change everything. The BMW glides through quiet streets, neon signs glowing against damp asphalt. The late-night city feels half asleep, but inside the car, every nerve in your body is awake. Jasmine sits stiffly in the back seat, her small frame tense, her wide eyes flicking between mirrors as though enemies lurk in every shadow. At the next red light, you glance back. What exactly did you hear? She swallows, voice barely above a whisper. They said you're an obedient little dog, that you'd sign whatever papers they put in front of you, and that when it's done, you'll have nothing left. Her words hit harder than a punch. 15 years with Marcus. 10 years with Diana. You gave them everything, trust, loyalty, respect, and in return they reduced you to a joke, a dog. Jasmine grimaces, her nose wrinkling. They laughed. The blonde woman said you're too blind to notice when people step on you, and that tomorrow you'll finally learn what it feels like to be thrown away. The insult burns, hotter than betrayal itself. You tighten your grip on the wheel until your knuckles ache. Why tell me? You ask suddenly, your tone sharper than intended. You don't even know me. Her eyes catch yours in the mirror. For a moment she looks years older than her 7. Because I know what it's like to be invisible. They were talking about you like you're nothing, like you don't matter. My grandma always said when you see someone getting stepped on and you can help, you help. Because next time, it could be you. The light turns green, but you linger, for a heartbeat absorbing the lesson. A 7-year-old dressed in rags just reminded you of something you'd forgotten. Dignity isn't in wealth, it's in seeing people. 20 minutes later, the two of you sit in a rundown diner. The fluorescent lights hum overhead. A waitress barely looks at you as she sets down a greasy hamburger and stale coffee. Jasmine devours the food like she hasn't eaten properly in days. You sip your coffee, eyes fixed on your phone buzzing, silently against the table. Message from Marcus. Ready for tomorrow, buddy. The Japanese investors will love it. Retirement is around the corner. You tilt the screen toward Jasmine. She reads it, then snorts softly. He's lying with a smile. That's the worst kind. Before you can reply, another message arrives. Diana this time. Jonathan, I've reviewed the contracts one last time. Everything is perfect. Trust me, as you always have. The words churn your stomach. Trust me. 2 words that now feel like poison. For 10 years, Diana has been your anchor, organizing your schedule, remembering your passwords, even reminding you to call your doctor. And all along she was sharpening the knife. Jasmine wipes ketchup from her fingers with a napkin, eyes narrowed. Do they know everything about you? You hesitate, then nod. Bank accounts, travel plans, where I keep important documents. Her small voice sharpens. Then they've had years to plan. But you've had years too, right? You must know things about them. The thought makes you pause mid-sip. She's right. 15 years with Marcus, 10 years with Diana. You've seen their secrets too. Marcus's late-night meetings with competitors he thought you didn't notice. Diana's strange bonus system that never quite balanced. Snippets of emails, whispers in hallways, conversations that weren't meant for your ears. Slowly, a realization forms. They've been building their trap, but unknowingly they've been feeding you the tools to dismantle it. Jasmine leans forward, her eyes shining. They think you're stupid, but you're not, are you? You study her carefully. A child who's lived on the street, raised on scraps of wisdom, speaking like a strategist. You feel something stir deep inside, something you thought you'd lost. No, you say. your voice steady. I'm not. The phone rings. Marcus. His cheerful tone almost drips through the speaker. Jonathan, glad you're resting. Tomorrow's the big day. Diana and I will handle everything. Just show up, sign, and smile. You trust us? Don't you? You smile into the receiver, masking the storm rising in your chest. Of course, Marcus, I can't wait to see how it all unfolds. Perfect. Marcus laughs, oblivious. It'll be smooth. You'll thank us later. The call ends. Silence returns. Across the table, Jasmine studies you closely. You're planning something. I can see it in your eyes. And she's right. Every lie, every insult, every laugh. They've sharpened something in you. They think you're blind. They think you're helpless, but what they don't know is this. When patience runs out, kindness can turn deadly. The diner's clock ticks loudly, every second a reminder that tomorrow inches closer. Jasmine pushes away the empty plate, licking salt from her fingers. The burger wrapper crumples under her small hands. She looks content, for the first time since stepping into your car, but her eyes are still scanning, calculating, watching everything. You sip your cold coffee, studying her. You're very sharp for your age. She shrugs as though it's obvious. When you live in shelters or on the street, you learn to notice things. My grandma always said, when you have nothing, you learn to listen to everything. Her words cut deeper than she knows. You've spent years in boardrooms, analyzing balance sheets, negotiating million-dollar deals. Yet somehow a child has mastered the one skill that can save you now, paying attention. Your phone buzzes again, pulling you from your thoughts. Diana this time. Boss, I'll be at the office at 5 a.m. Everything will be ready. Just trust me like always. The message stirs bile in your throat. Trust me. How many times has she said those words? And how many times did you believe them? You set the phone face down on the table, jaw tight. Jasmine tilts her head, reading your silence better than most adults. They know everything about you. But you must know things about them too, right? Her voice is calm, steady. It lands, like a revelation. Yes, you do. You've kept mental notes for years, small things at first. Marcus meeting with competitors in hotel bars, thinking no one noticed. Diana approving bonuses that didn't quite add up. Odd contracts that appeared, disappeared. You always brushed it aside, too loyal, too trusting to dig deeper. But Jasmine's question slices through your fog. For every secret they've collected about you, you hold pieces of theirs. Pieces sharp enough to cut through steel. You lean back, staring at the ceiling, realization pressing down. You're right. I do know things. Her lips curl into a small smile, equal parts pride and challenge. Then maybe you're not as stupid as they think. The word stupid rings in your ears, echoing Marcus's laugh, Diana's dismissive tone. You've built an empire brick by brick, sacrificed nights, weekends, health. And to them, you're a fool. The insult should sting, but instead, it sparks something else. Clarity. For too long, you've let trust blind you. Now their arrogance is your weapon. Your phone lights up with Marcus's name. Against your better judgment, you answer. His voice is syrupy sweet. Jonathan, just wanted to check in. Big day tomorrow. Don't stress. Diana and I have everything under control. You just sign where she tells you, and then, champagne, my friend. You force a laugh, heart pounding in your chest. I appreciate it, Marcus, really, I'll be there. Perfect, Marcus beams. Sleep well. Tomorrow everything changes. The call ends. You set the phone down slowly, fingers drumming against the table. Across from you, Jasmine studies you with unnerving seriousness. Your eyes look different, like you're planning something. You hold her gaze. In that moment, you feel it too. The shift, the turning point. For 15 years, you've been the steady partner, the calm leader, the man who trusted too easily. But now you're something else. You lean forward, voice low but certain. They think I'm stupid. They think I'm blind. But they've forgotten one thing. Jasmine leans in, whispering, "What's that?" You let a smile ghost across your lips, the first genuine one in weeks. That patience doesn't mean weakness, it means waiting for the perfect moment. She grins, a conspirator's smile on a child's face. Then tomorrow it's their turn to be blind. And as the two of you sit in that dingy diner under flickering lights, a strange alliance is forged between a millionaire CEO and a street child, not by chance, not by accident, but by necessity. And deep down, you know, she's not just helping you, she's saving you. The night stretches long. By dawn, your apartment feels more like a bunker than a home. Jasmine sleeps curled up on the sofa, cocooned in a blanket you found in the closet. For a moment, you watch her chest rise and fall, small and steady as though she's carried the weight of the world and finally found a corner of peace. But peace isn't yours yet. Tomorrow is the battlefield, and you need an army. Your phone rests heavy in your hand. One name sits in your contacts, untouched for a year. Gabriel Torres, ex-cop, former private investigator, a man who once had a reputation for digging too deep. Marcus and Diana claimed they cut him to save costs, but now you see the truth. They cut him because he saw too much. You dial. 2 rings. A low, gravelly voice answers. "Jonathan? Thought you'd forgotten me." "Gabriel," you say, quietly. "I need you. Today." 2 hours later, Gabriel is at your kitchen table, files and a battered leather bag at his feet. He's older now, early 40s, with scars across his knuckles and eyes that miss nothing. Jasmine studies him openly like she's measuring his soul. He studies her right back. "This the kid?" Gabriel asks. You nod. "Her name's Jasmine. She heard everything." Gabriel shakes his head in disbelief. 7 years old, and she cracks open a $200 million conspiracy. "Kid, you've got instincts." Jasmine shrugs, chewing a piece of toast. "When you have nothing, you learn to listen to everything." Gabriel chuckles softly. "Your grandmother must have been a wise woman." Then his smile fades. He slides a tablet across the table. Spreadsheets, shell companies, wire transfers, names that aren't real, contracts with invisible clients. "Marcus and Diana aren't just betraying you," Gabriel says, his voice hard. "They're criminals. For 2 years they've been laundering money. 5 million siphoned into 17 fake companies. The Japanese merger isn't growth, it's their escape hatch. They need your signature to wash it clean." The words hit like ice water. It's no longer personal betrayal, it's organized theft. You stare at the screen, bile rising. "They stole from the company I built with my own hands." Gabriel leans back. "They stole from you because they thought you'd never notice. But the irony? They needed you to survive. They still do. Without your name, without your signature, they can't finish the job." Jasmine sets her toast down. Her small voice slices through the air. "Then don't. Give them what they want. Make them think they already have it. And then," she smiles faintly, "turn it around." Gabriel studies her with something close to awe. "Smart kid. Smarter than most detectives I've trained." You exhale slowly, tension tightening your shoulders. The choice is clear, now. You could call the police today, dump the evidence, let courts drag out the trial. But Marcus and Diana would fight, twist, maybe even escape. Or you could walk into their trap, play the fool, and spring it shut yourself. Your phone buzzes, again. Marcus. His voice sings through the speaker, cheerful as ever. "Partner, Diana and I have been here since morning, finalizing the details. Don't bother reviewing the documents, too technical. Just sign where she tells you. You trust us, right?" You glance at Jasmine, who rolls her eyes. Then you smile into the receiver, your tone perfectly neutral. "Of course, Marcus, I trust you." He chuckles, oblivious. "That's why this works. See you tomorrow, buddy." The call ends. Silence fills the kitchen. Gabriel closes his tablet, his voice low. You have two options: call the cops now or let them hang themselves. Jasmine claps her hands softly, as though watching a movie twist unfold. Pretend you're blind. Pretend you're stupid. And then show them what you've really been watching. For the first time in months, something burns inside you. Not dread, not exhaustion, but the thrill of strategy. Marcus and Diana think tomorrow is their triumph. They believe they've led a lamb to slaughter. But what they don't know, the lamb has teeth. The next morning, your apartment no longer feels like home. It feels like a staging ground. Jasmine sits at the kitchen table, swinging her legs, scribbling in a small notebook she scavenged from your desk. Across from her, Gabriel flips through files with the focus of a surgeon, his tablet glowing with evidence. You pace the floor, phone in hand, heart pounding with the rhythm of decision. This is it. Today is the day. Gabriel finally looks up. His voice is calm even. Jonathan, you've got enough evidence here to bury them in court. But courts take time. Lawyers twist facts. People like Marcus and Diana, they're slippery. If you give this to the authorities now, they'll stall, maybe even escape with a slap on the wrist. You stop pacing, fists clenched at your sides. And the alternative? Gabriel's eyes sharpen. Let them finish the trap. Walk into that meeting as the fool they expect. Smile. Nod. Pretend to sign. And then, when they think they've won, expose them. With agents in the room, their laughter will be the rope that hangs them. Jasmine closes her notebook, her expression fierce. Yes, make them believe you're blind. Let them underestimate you, and when they laugh, her small hands mimic closing fists. You catch them. For a moment, you see her not as a child, but as a general. Calm, decisive, unflinching. The plan forms fast. Step 1. Jasmine sneaks close to the conference wing, recording Marcus and Diana's final words of arrogance. Step 2. Gabriel delivers the evidence to federal agents waiting nearby. Step 3. You walk into the room, pen in hand, every inch the trusting boss. You let them believe the lie. And then you flip the table. Your phone buzzes. Marcus again. His voice is a symphony of confidence. Jonathan. Just checking in. The Japanese are impressed already. Diana's got everything marked with sticky notes. You just need to bring your pen, easy. You force a laugh. Perfect, Marcus. I'll be there right on time. Good man. That's why this partnership works. We take care of each other. You end the call, staring at the device in your hand. For 15 years, those words meant something. Now they drip with poison. Jasmine leans on the table, her voice steady. They think you're going to follow their script, but you don't have to. You can write your own. Gabriel chuckles softly. Kid, you'd make a dangerous prosecutor one day. Jasmine lifts her chin. Or a CEO. The three of you share a look, a triangle of determination forged by betrayal. The odds may be stacked, but for the first time in months, you feel the balance shifting. You glance at Jasmine, her small shoulders squared, her notebook clutched like a weapon. Are you sure about this? It's dangerous. She nods without hesitation. I wasn't afraid yesterday. I won't be afraid today. My grandma always said, if you can help, you do it. Even if it scares you. Pride and guilt twist inside you. She shouldn't have to carry this burden, and yet without her, none of this would be possible. You reach across the table, resting a hand on her notebook. Then let's end this. Together. Gabriel stands, gathering his files. His voice is steady, resolute. Today, Marcus and Diana think they're hunters, but in truth, they've already walked into the cage. The clock ticks closer to 2 o'clock. Every second heavy, charged with destiny. And deep down, you know, by tonight everything changes. Either you'll walk away with your empire intact, or you'll lose everything. But one thing is certain, Marcus and Diana will never laugh at you again. The clock strikes 2. The polished double doors of the Miller Industries conference room tower ahead, their glass panels reflecting the weight of everything you've built and everything you might lose. Behind those doors, Marcus and Diana wait, confident there. Victory is moments away. You adjust your tie in the reflection, masking the storm inside with a calm surface. Jasmine is safe, tucked away with Gabriel and the agents watching from a distance. Now it's just you, the betrayers, and the trap you've allowed them to build with their own hands. You push the doors open. Marcus leaps to his feet, his smile wide, his arms spreading as if to embrace you. Jonathan, brother, today is history. The Japanese delegation is on their way. Everything is perfect. His tone is syrupy, his eyes sharp with calculation. Diana approaches, a leather briefcase in hand, every detail of her appearance immaculate. Blonde hair pinned flawlessly, a professional smile plastered over her face. Boss, I've prepared. Everything. Sticky notes mark where you need to sign. Trust me as you always have. You nod, calm, composed. Their confidence almost fills the room, suffocating, intoxicating. They believe you are still blind, that you will follow the script. But today you've written a new one. You slide into your chair at the head of the table, fingers brushing over the stack of contracts placed in front of you. Your voice is steady, casual. Before we begin, I found something interesting last night. Thought I'd share. Marcus chuckles, condescending. Of course, Jonathan. But keep it quick. The investors won't want delays. You lift the remote. The projector screen blinks to life. Numbers flash. Bank. Transfers. Names of shell companies, accounts bleeding millions. Diana's smile cracks. Jonathan, what is this? Some kind of joke? You lean back, expression calm. No joke. 5 million siphoned off in 2 years. 17 fake companies, all tied to you both. Marcus's mask slips. He surges, to his feet, face flushing red. Where did you get this? This is private. You meet his rage with cold composure. Private? Marcus, do you really think I built a $200 million empire without learning how to protect it? The doors open again. Gabriel enters, his presence steady, carrying a box of files. Behind him, 2 federal investigators step into the room, badges glinting under the lights. Diana stumbles backward, her voice rising. This is a misunderstanding. These are legitimate transactions. Complicated. Technical. Gabriel tosses envelopes across the table. Recordings of your conversations. Fraudulent contracts. Signed. Testimonies from your phantom clients. You wait for the final blow. Marcus, Diana, do you remember Jasmine? Confusion flashes across Marcus's face. Who the hell is Jasmine? The doors open once more. Jasmine steps inside, small but unshaken, escorted by a social worker. Her voice is soft but firm as she approaches the table. Hi, Mr. Marcus. Remember me? I was hiding under your desk when you called Mr. Yamamoto. I heard you say you were going to steal Mr. Jonathan's company. The silence is deafening. Diana's face drains of color. Marcus sputters, fury spilling from him. You're bringing in a child? This is ridiculous. But Gabriel presses play on his phone. Diana's voice fills the room. Jonathan is a sentimental idiot. He'll sign without reading. Day after tomorrow, he'll be looking for another job. That clown will never know what hit him. Then Marcus's voice, dripping with arrogance. 15 years pretending to be friends with that imbecile. Worth every second to see his face when he loses everything. Diana collapses into her chair, trembling. Marcus slams the table so hard papers scatter across the polished surface. You set us up. You rise slowly, smoothing your suit jacket, your voice cutting like a blade. No, Marcus, I didn't set you up. You dug your own grave for 2 years. I just handed you the shovels. One of the agents steps forward. Marcus Williams, Diana Foster. You are under arrest for embezzlement, money laundering, and conspiracy to commit fraud. Cold metal cuffs snap shut around their wrists. Marcus thrashes, shouting threats. This won't stand, I'll destroy you. You look him in the eye, your tone calm, unshaken. You already tried, Marcus. The difference is simple. I'm better at it than you are. Diana sobs quietly as she's led away, her carefully built mask shattered. Jasmine tugs at your sleeve, her small face tilted up with awe. They thought you were stupid. You kneel slightly, meeting her gaze. No, Jasmine, I was patient, and patience is the deadliest weapon of all. The conference room empties. The investors cancel their meeting. But calls are already flooding in from other firms. Firms who want to work with a company led by a man who exposed betrayal rather than bowed to it. And as you stand in the silence watching the agents escort Marcus and Diana into the waiting van, you know, this isn't the end. This is the rebirth. 2 months later, the skyline glows golden. In the late afternoon sun, from your new corner office on the 20th floor, you stand looking out over the city you nearly lost. Miller Industries hums stronger than ever. Without parasites bleeding it dry, growth has surged by 40%. Investors who once hesitated now line up, eager to work with a company led by a man who refused to bow to betrayal. Behind you, laughter breaks the silence. Jasmine rushes in, school uniform crisp, a heavy backpack bouncing on her shoulders. She drops a paper on your desk, her face glowing. Dad, I got an A in math. The word dad strikes you like sunlight piercing through storm clouds. You bend down, eye level with her, scanning the bold red grade at the top. I knew you could do it. For weeks after the arrest, Jasmine lived in your apartment. And with each passing day, her presence filled cracks you didn't know you had. The laughter at breakfast, the questions late at night. The way she reminded you of truths you once believed only in theory. Loyalty, courage, family. Gabriel enters then, his leather briefcase in hand, his steady smile carrying good news. Jonathan, more updates. Marcus got 12 years. Diana, 8. Their assets seized, properties liquidated, and 7 other businessmen they defrauded are suing and recovering their money. You nod slowly, not with the hunger for revenge but with quiet satisfaction. Justice is real, even if it moves slowly. Gabriel hesitates, then glances at Jasmine, now coloring at your desk. It still amazes me. A 7-year-old girl saved a $200 million company. You turn, pulling a folder from your drawer. Your voice is low, heavy with emotion. There's something you both need to know. You place the documents on the table. Birth certificates, genealogical charts, photographs faded with age. Jasmine's coloring stops. Her eyes lift, searching your face. Jasmine, you say softly. Your grandmother's name was Josephine Miller, wasn't it? Her eyes widen. Yes. Why? You slide the folder toward her. Josephine was my cousin. We lost touch decades ago. But after you came into my life, I started digging, and everything led back to her. Silence floods the room. Jasmine's small hands tremble as she lifts the papers, staring at names that connect to her bloodline. Slowly, her eyes fill with tears. That means, her voice cracks, we're family. You crouch to her level, your hand resting gently on her shoulder. It means you didn't just save a stranger. You saved your own family. And from now on, you'll never be alone again. She throws her arms around your neck, sobbing against your chest. Your heart clenches, not with pain, but with something stronger. Peace. 3 months later, in a courthouse bathed in sunlight, the adoption becomes official. Jasmine, wearing a light blue dress, clutches your hand as the judge signs the papers. It's rare to see a story begin with crime and end with family, the judge remarks warmly. Congratulations, Mr. Miller. From that day on, Jasmine is no longer a girl on the street. She is Jasmine Miller. 5 years pass. The Miller Foundation now funds housing and education for hundreds of vulnerable children each year. At its anniversary gala, a now 12-year-old Jasmine steps onto the stage. The crowd falls silent as she adjusts the microphone, her voice steady and clear. The best day of my life, she says, was the day I got into Dad's car, because that day I didn't just save his company, I found my family. Applause erupts, echoing against the grand hall. You watch from the front row, pride swelling in your chest. Marcus and Diana tried to strip you of everything you built. Instead, their betrayal delivered the greatest gift of all. A daughter, a legacy. and proof that sometimes the smallest voice can carry the greatest power. As Jasmine smiles under the lights, you realize the final truth. Real revenge isn't destroying those who betray you. Real revenge is building something so beautiful, so unshakable, that their betrayal becomes nothing more than a footnote in your story. And as father and daughter stand together, the story that began in a shadowed parking garage now burns bright, a testament to courage, family, and the power of never underestimating the quietest voice in the room. The story slows now, the noise of boardrooms and battles fading into something quieter, steadier. Imagine the city at dusk, lights flickering on one by one, traffic humming far below, the world moving forward as it always does. But for you, Jonathan Miller, everything is different. You walk the halls of your company not with the weight of suspicion or betrayal, but with the quiet pride of a man who endured, who fought, and who refused to be broken. At your side, Jasmine's laughter echoes, her presence a reminder that family isn't always found in bloodlines, it's found in loyalty and courage and love. Marcus and Diana's betrayal could have been the end of everything. Instead, it became the doorway to something greater, the rebirth of a company, the rebuilding of trust, the discovery of a daughter. And maybe that's the real lesson. Sometimes, the people who underestimate you hand you the very tools you need to rise higher than before. So tonight, as the city sleeps, you carry no bitterness, only peace. Because in the end, betrayal didn't define your story. Family did. And that is a legacy no thief can ever steal.